We're going to do female archangel oracle cards today. Female archangel oracle cards, and kind of see what is going on. Today we have a Venus Sirius alignment. We're going to kind of talk about the energies today. And welcome to a new month's new energies. September is going to be a really, really powerful month energetically. I just put a post on my page. There is a powerful, we'll say, space storm kind of kicking off right now too. Doesn't surprise me as this month brings the equinox. We're already kind of starting out those energies anyway, because we always start them out 3 weeks prior right now. Okay, so we will talk about the energies and we'll do a couple cards. Make sure you guys are saying hi and connecting with the energies. If you guys are finding me, take a second to share this video out if you're trying to get a card and things like that. And just give me 1 minute while I'm kind of trying to share this out. Let's see. All right, and I'll let you do that so I can kind of get started. So make sure you guys are leaving a comment and sharing this out. So today's a really powerful Sirius portal with Venus. I'm not going to go too into this because I did another video. I'll put that up after. But today's a really, really powerful alignment, and it serves a very powerful purpose in preparing us for, from the 4th to the 9th of this month, we go into the Sirius portal. So today, I know it's weird, today kind of kicks that off with today's Venus Sirius alignment to prepare us for those energies. And so it's bringing up a huge healing for your love life. Venus is planet of love. It's actually, Venus is kind of, we'll say, near the beehive, which represents the collective consciousness and upgrades and activations coming for the collective. We know that anyway with the awakening kind of energy. And of course, Sirius, our spiritual sun, which brings a powerful energy and powerful galactic light codes. Things are about to get galactic as we're getting ready for that porthole. And so today is like a clearing and balancing energy to prepare us for the upgrades that are coming at us with that Sirius porthole. We know it kind of ends on the 9/9 porthole as well too. That's the last day of it. So we're going into a very, very powerful space. Now this month is extra powerful too because we have 2 eclipses and the equinox, my favorite, okay? And so September is kind of like a transitionary month. It takes us in between, brings some amazing energies, but can feel a little intense for people too, especially today and tomorrow. I noticed we're in a, pretty powerful geomagnetic energy or storm. So you're probably feeling the energies on some level, are definitely gonna be, but you wanna be kind of leaning into them and making them work for you. And I almost forgot, today Saturn has been in retrograde, but it shifted into Pisces. So Saturn retrograde in Pisces, where it will stay for the rest of the year, bringing a huge karmic clearing. And this can look different for different people. This is what we do here on Earth, like literally our whole lives. If you're here on Earth, our lives have certain undertones and things like that too. This is all about working on your healing and patterns and things like that. And a lot of people, situations, and places in your life are here to help you through that process while you're kind of navigating it. And so these energies are really, really good, but they also bring up a review. So they're going to bring up a review in Pisces. And when we deal with Saturn retrograde in Pisces, it brings up kind of a soul contract, and I say karmic, but emotional entanglement kind of review. So you can kind of look at, we'll say, the connections in your life and, if they're serving you or not. So this is like with Venus in the mix, Sirius in the mix, Saturn in the mix. It's bringing a little bit of karmic undertones and things that you still may need to heal or release, but it's bringing a lot of awareness so you can integrate things. So, kind of from the past or whatever it is coming up currently. So yes, you might be having things come up. This could be energetically within yourself and like patterns, things you need to shift out of, or in your life too. As we're going through very intense eclipse energies, I like to always say, I'm not going to go too into them today, but they get you back on track. like just get out of the universe's way. If you feel like things are happening past your control right now, it's sometimes we're able to kind of see the big picture, and like maybe not always, but you're getting glimpses of your blueprint. I was explaining this on a session last night, like you're getting some clarity moving forward of the big picture and where things are taking you moving forward. So during eclipses, if things are happening, eclipsing out of your life, just get out of the universe's way. It's for your highest good, and kind of trust whatever process you're moving through too. Okay, make sure you guys have shared this out. We're going to get started with some cards. Check out my website, sparksofdivinelighthealing.com. I am an energy healer. I do healing sessions, activations, and clearings, and I have tons of them, you know, to flip through the energies and flow through the energies with you, like just on my site. I do psychic medium readings, and I teach classes like Reiki and Sikhem on my website. So I have all sorts of really good things for you on there. When you're flipping through my shop, go with what you're guided to, right? Just like any other shop. But I do have a search bar if you're looking for something in particular too. So if you need me, just go ahead and book me on there. Amazing energies this month to be kind of using for whatever's coming up for you. We're doing female archangel cards. Make sure you guys shared this out and left a comment. And then, if you're able to sign up and be a supporter or send stars or PayPal donations, always helps this page a ton if you're getting something out of it. Awesome way you can always give something back. So, and if you're sending stars, I'm going to try to give you a psychic shout out, but you can always send them just because. Female archangels. Let's see. Give me 1 sec to get the comments. Okay. Let's see. I got Julie. Good morning. Okay. Archangel Cassiel. Face fear and rise. This is what we're here to do. Okay. And you can think, yeah, I faced my fears because we did that like asleep. And I try not to go into this, but if you've had to pinpoint sometimes like your worst traumas, worst experiences, they are very connected oftentimes to your worst fears. So you've already experienced, because I feel unconsciously we may have manifested some of them into our lives and things like that. But I feel it serves a greater purpose of facing them so we're not afraid of stuff anymore and we can move forward and kind of, you know, whatever. I always make a joke like you're terrified of snakes. You know, maybe you fell in the snake pit and got bit 10 times and survived. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. It's a little like that when describing the process too. But of course we can have unconscious hidden fears, or, you know, we think we're fine and we have something come up and whatever. And it's just everything that is like holding people back. And, you know, we all have to kind of deal with that on some type of level, because it's like the greatest block that we face within ourselves to manifesting our reality and things like that. Not to mention it affects our frequency and our energy, and it creates a lot of stress and cortisol and things like that in the body too. So this is sometimes the best thing to do. I always talk a lot about the mind and kind of reprogramming and working with our thoughts, and, you know, things come up, especially as we are integrating all of this high frequency energy that we call Ascension happening on planet Earth, and it stirs up a lot of things from within us, a lot of density, lower frequency energies and things like that are rising to the surface that we're having to deal with during this time too. So this can be root chakra work, or even really paying attention to your thoughts and getting rid of things. And we say purging out, right? Cleansing things, reprogramming and releasing things. Make sure that you're not feeding into fear during this time. I told someone that this morning, like, you know, we get shown all this stuff, like television. No kidding, right? We were shown this really distorted view at times of the collective, right? And things like that. And I'm always like, you know, not feeding into this stuff, because the reality is, and this is hard to grasp, we each have our own universe that actually makes up the collective consciousness. And sometimes, sorry, just give me a sec. So not feeding into distorted fear, whether within yourself or even things you're shown externally. Okay, we're gonna do Pam. Archela, clarity, rest, reflect, and recharge. Make sure you're taking care of your energy during this time. I was thinking, you know, you guys should be feeling a little bit better, as we're only a few days into Virgo season, pretty much, right? But you should be starting to feel a little bit more better. I was talking about this is a clearing porthole, but also a nice balancing porthole as well too, to kind of get back into balance. That's what Virgo season is really good at too, as we're getting ready for Libra season. Not yet, but we will be towards the equinox and towards the end of the month. And so make sure that you're taking care of your energy. We're in a culture, I always say, that teaches us to hustle, move around all the time. The more you can do and multitask and juggle, but life requires us to rest. And this is why I think it's important that whether it is making your home a tranquil place where you go to rest, it's your bubble, it's your sanctuary, and making it a peaceful place where you can recharge your energy and restore your energy, or even, just learning how to ebb and flow with life. Like sometimes, you're moving around, you're getting a lot done, but you also have to restore your energy. And this is like the ups and the downs of it too. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself on the physical level, restoring your energy. This is why I do obviously a ton of energy work, which can help us to bring more life force into it. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to raise your frequency. It's going to make you look a lot younger, right? It's going to bring back your vitality, because reality is, for a lot of people, we're, working a lot and doing a lot, and this takes a toll on our life force energy, right? And kind of can wear us out or wear down our battery, our spiritual battery. So doing energy healing is a really good way to restore your vitality and bring more life force in whatever way too. But take care of your energy during this time. We're going through a lot of intense, I'll say, energy shifts, solar shifts to that. Right? Make sure you're taking care of yourself, especially if you're needing it. I think that's really important for the entire planet during this time too. So we're learning how to kind of ebb and flow with these energies. Let's see, we're gonna do Connor. Perspective, zoom out and relax. This is pulling back and seeing the big picture, or I call it the higher perspective or view of things. So sometimes when we're kind of in it, we're not seeing the big picture, but we're having, and I was kind of talking about this a little bit earlier, we're seeing a little bit of the big picture and kind of a soul reveal. And our spirit guides are always with us and giving us little guidance. And sometimes this can come through your thoughts, obviously, and things that you're picking up on, or things that you're tapping into, especially as we're kind of activating our third eye and things like that. We're able to kind of tune into more, but they're not going to show you like 25 years from now. This is why psychic work is delicate. 25 years from now, you can just sit around and arrive at this destination, not doing any work, right? And in 25 years, you'll just arrive here, and it's just like a sure thing, because things can always change based on our choices, actions, and what we are doing or not doing to, end up in certain situations or places. And so this is why our actions are determining where we end up and stuff like that too. So your spirit guides are not going to overwhelm you, showing you 25 years from now potentials that may or may not manifest based on choices you're making in the now, right? Like, hey, you could have this life. And they're not going to overwhelm you with showing you too much of your path moving forward. And oftentimes I find it's like in this space that you're getting the next steps, and then you kind of do things and you get the next couple of steps. And so sometimes this comes through as amazing clarity, and like, I see this in the work I do of like, oh, okay. And, and I had someone tell me in a year I'll be here and I can do this. And, I have this stuff coming up, and they wouldn't have seen that last week, but it's suddenly being revealed. So you're being given what you need, and it's being revealed as you go based on what you are doing work-wise, right, to end up there. But you're being given the next steps. This is why, this could come in ideas, or I'm going to do this, or I'll be doing this next. And it could be even an excitement, or, just seeing a little more of the path ahead, because, everything changes based on, what we're doing or not doing. You could have been like, okay, you're going to end up here, and you took a wrong turn, right? It's a little like your GPS, I say, in a car, and, you drove off course, and you're going to get there, but they're giving you new directions, right? So it's like when I sometimes miss my turns, like I wasn't paying attention, and say you missed a couple turns and you're a little lost, you're still going where you're going, but they're going to probably reroute you. Okay. So when it comes to spiritual guidance, it's very important that we're listening to our spirit guides. So this is a reveal of the path as you're walking it, so to speak, and as you're kind of going and getting the guidance through the path. This is pulling back and seeing the big picture. So if you're like stressed, don't know where you're going, that's okay. You're getting what you need to navigate your path and your spiritual journey. Sometimes this can come through, and I love the guy on the card, very angelic, of course, that's why he picked these cards, but like sometimes through meditation, pulling back, spending time in solitude, spending time with your thoughts, you'll get more kind of coming through about your own path and kind of seeing the big picture of it. This also can go another layer too. With spiritual awakening, we're seeing more and kind of seeing more of ourselves, our lives, and the impact that we have on those around us and things like that. Okay, let's do Gregory. Archangel Jeremiel, signs, symbols, and synchronicity. And pay attention to the spiritual messages that you're getting, because they do come through signs, symbolism and synchronicity oftentimes, and this is angelic guidance on your path. It is also a sign that you're in divine alignment too when you're drawing these occurrences to you. And it could be like, I always talk about, you know, you didn't know you had two choices and you weren't sure, and suddenly you're seeing choice number 2 flashing all over your television. The universe will get your attention. You're not sure. You go ask someone and they're telling you, you know, choice A was first drawer for you 10 times, right? And so a lot of times when I like this, if you're not sure, they say, can get confirmation on things too. You'll hear reoccurring messages, but oftentimes this comes down to little signs just for you. And so we get these synchronicities, we will call them. And so some of the signs can have very, very special, important meanings just for you. And, you know, you'll go try to tell your friend about it and might think you're a little cray-cray. You're like, oh my God, I'm seeing all these signs like just for me that have specific meaning. And the universe knows that as it's sending you these little breadcrumbs, nudges, and signs and synchronicities in many different ways. That's why we're seeing such occurrence of angel numbers like never before, because the frequencies are actually rising on planet Earth. Sometimes it might look a little messy because we are going through a huge cleansing, clearing, and kind of purge process, but we're actually releasing a lot of dense energies and negative energies, and the frequencies are going up through the spiritual work that we're doing. So we're seeing more and more signs and synchronicities. Oftentimes this comes in number codes and reoccurring angel numbers that you're being sent on your path. Make sure that if you're getting them, that you're Googling them. They have great meaning, and we'll give you a message every time. You can start to decode the messages through the angel numbers that you're attracting, we'll say, or drawing into your life. Let's do Crystal Ramirez. Archala Purity, cleanse and detoxify. And I love that for Virgo season. This is a really good time to do a good detox. Like, it's my thing because we have a lot of toxins and it makes it a lot easier. You can do actual detox. I love like herbs, right? Detox herbs and things like that too. Like, you know, detoxing with chlorella, spirulina for like the metals and toxins and things like that. And that's a really good, you know, source of vitamins and things like that too. I love doing like parasite cleanse and things like that too. And of course, spiritual energy clearing, right? So make sure that you are kind of doing a good Virgo season clearing on some level. This is what eclipses help us to do. They help us to let go of the old and kind of release energies and anchor into higher frequency timelines through doing the energy work. That's how we do that. I put a little article on my website this morning talking about the clearing work is so important because we have to be able to hold these higher frequency energies in the body. And if we don't do the clearing work, we have a very hard time holding these new higher energies too. So the clearing work is very, very important, and kind of cleansing and having good spiritual hygiene is very, very important too. We don't want all this stuff, right? So if we don't do clearing work, we're probably full of cords and, you know, karmic entanglements and the karmic imprints and attachments and things that aren't very good for us too. We definitely don't feel very good. And oftentimes, unfortunately, it's until we have a spiritual awakening that we start to become aware of, we'll say, our own energy or energy field on some levels, and we get guided to like clear it up after everything we've kind of been through and taken on as well too. Energy clearing work, it'll make you feel a lot better. Sam Beadle. Archangel Sandalphon, center and ground. Make sure you're taking some time to ground right now within these energies too, and kind of ground your frequencies. I talk about that almost every day, the benefits of nature and how healing it is, and just kind of anchoring these energies in, especially for people that are psychically sensitive and may need that as part of their spiritual routine, or just connecting. We have a lot of energy pulsing through the earth too, and it can bring a lot of upgrades to our energy as earth is like, I don't want to say buffering, but, you know, really these energies are hitting earth and we're all living here. So when we connect with nature, it helps us with, you know, activations and higher frequency energies and kind of taking that into ourselves. And I always talk about through the crown chakra, source energy, through the feet, our connection to earth. And we can be kind of disconnected in our lifestyle on earth and living here. All the artificial lights and offices and, you know, matrix life and things like that too. So when we connect more with nature, it helps us to be more grounded, balanced, and aligned, and also to release negative energy. So the earth is very, very powerful you can really, we have chakras other than the 7, and we also have feet chakras, so maybe it's not the best time of year, but if you guys are ever in a good energy place and you take your shoes off and walk around barefoot a lot, it will really start to activate your feet chakras, helping with your root chakra too, because let's look at it. We have our root chakra down to the feet. Your legs are pretty much your flower like stem, right? Like literally, like if you were a flower, your legs are going to be very connected with the root chakra. They're like your little stem. And it's going to help you though with drawing that energy upward, up into your chakra system and things like that too, because we have that source energy coming down. But if we have blocks in our chakras and things like that too, we also want to get the flow of energy up through our base chakra too. So connecting with the earth is very powerful for that. Melissa Noel, Archangel Jophiel, time to create. These energies coming into the planet are here to help us. They're light codes of the new or new earth, and they're here to help us to manifest and focus on what we're creating. And even if we stop, I'm done, I'm gonna quit, I'm done with manifesting. We are anyways, based on what we're thinking about all day. So we want to continue to put out good intentions, and this shapes our path ahead, like prayers, intentions, manifestation work is very, very powerful in these high frequency energies. We are anyways, but it's better if we're actually creating things that we like, by the way, instead of just, you know, whatever's going on in our head. And so it's a good time to get intentional as the frequencies are really, really going to rise. It's the first of the month, and I just saw, you know, we're going to go into some very high energy. We're in some high energies today and tomorrow. It doesn't surprise me because we'll see where the equinox takes us, but the frequencies go very, very high, and we're going to be feeling it. And this is the time where we want to be focused on where we want, you know, our next chapter to take us, or what we're manifesting, what we're creating on. All you have to do is get aligned and start to think about it in a good way, and to visualize it, to put prayers out, to put intentions out there, and things are manifesting faster and faster within these energies. And this is a good thing because, you know, I always talk about focusing on what we desire, what we want in life, manifestation work. Let's see. Francisca Faith, Archiella Victory, raise your vibration, and that's the true work that we're here to do. And we all went like as low as we could coming to earth, Chooks aside, right? As low as we could, descending to earth, because a lot of us come, obviously we come from the higher realms. I like to think of it in higher densities and things like that. So we took on a lot coming here, the physical body, very dense, and, you know, traumas and karma and all the stuff. And then, you know, we experienced a lot of that play out from our energy field and our energy system. And then Ascension is to rise up out of it. Like whatever circumstances you ended up in your life, whatever you need to heal, and doing that vibratory work to consciously work towards raising your frequency. Once again, I'm going to say energy healing for everything, like any problem in your life, but raising your frequency, this is exactly what energy healing helps you to do, to raise your frequency, clear density, and release in a good way negative frequencies and things that are weighing you down. And Saturn retrograde is to release any karmic weight still kind of within your energy field and things like that too. So continuing to raise your vibrational frequency. You can obviously eat lighter foods and kind of do that work with what you're putting in your energy field, period, right? And what you're engaging with. We have a lot of choice around here, right? Of like what we're doing, what we're engaging with. And even in your subtle interactions, you're, you know, taking on energies from the people around you and whatever it is. So also, you know, just taking good care of your energy and your energy field and continuing to raise your vibration. We can't go from like here to here overnight, even though people think you can. It's like gradually we change our vibration. We all have, you know, a unique energy signature and vibration. So we're continuing to work to raise it because it makes us very uncomfortable when we're not. And the planet's going up in frequency, and we're kind of, you know, having to do that work to keep up with the earth making her ascension, living here too. And so you guys are going to notice that when we fall back into the old patterns or old energies, we do not feel good there. And that's a good sign, right? And that when we're having a really good day or high vibe day, you feel really good within these energies. So continuing to raise your vibrational frequency is just something we're having to do during these times. Let's do Lillian. Archella, patience, trust the process. So this is a little bit of a surrender and release the struggle and kind of trust whatever journey you're on. And sometimes we might think it doesn't look like, everything we want. And that's why sometimes the ego thinks it should look a certain way, but your soul has designed like everything you're experiencing pretty much. I know. And it's what you signed up for specifically. And sometimes we forget that when we come to earth. So sometimes we're having to also trust the universe. And this is a big part of ascending or shifting into the 5D too. Ego is like the 3D and, kind of going down these I call it material paths and thinking this stuff will make you happy when we can learn how to surrender. So we have what we want in life. It's like what you picture your life looking like. It's very programmed matrix stuff. Like I always say, the little picket fence and the 2 kids in the car and all that, and the husband and wife, right? It's very, what you see on television, right? Very matrix and a lot of money. Like, okay. So sometimes with spiritual awakening, we can get in this higher flow of surrendering to the divine plan for our life, which is a lot bigger. And when we just stop and kind of surrender to this universal flow, we can allow the universe to step in and use us as it desires and as it wants to use us in our lives. And it's going to take you so much bigger when we can kind of let go and surrender control, because our ego pretty much, I kind of joke around, takes us around in circles and we don't get really far. But when we surrender and we allow the universe to guide us and to better yet use us in whatever way, we can really shift into such a higher potential, not to mention our divine plan, right? Our divine potential as well too. So if this is like, sometimes I see this when I think Earth is nothing but a bunch of ego lessons when things don't go your way. Like, right? When things don't go your way, that's the shadow work right there. I always say when things aren't going your way and you're having a hard time or whatever. And I think the universe does it on purpose so we can work on ourselves on a spiritual level, like on an ego level too, so we can become better people and kind of do the shadow work in those spaces. But I know that when we surrender and kind of let go, and that's where we release and no longer go through the struggle, and when we can kind of allow the universe to guide us, this is where the most powerful transformation begins to happen in our paths and in our lives. And we can really, we'll say, shift into our higher potential, because it's our ego that tends to keep us kind of limited in its vision, right? And the universe has such a beautiful, bigger vision of you and your life and how it's going too. So this is kind of surrendering to your divine path and letting go of struggle. Like this could be like control issues, wanting things to look a certain way, and you feel, life isn't going that way. That's probably a good thing. Kind of surrendering to the greater divine plan of your life and knowing everything is going as it should at all times. Sissy. Archangel Chamiel, be what you want to attract. And I think this is important too, because this is a very, and I love it, it's very heart chakra energy, which is all about this Venus shift that we're in. And even that Sirius portal, we have a lot of Venus energy this week, bringing a healing and kind of helping us to open up and activate the heart more too. So, with love, we always expect to receive it, even though it's something we must first embody and we kind of radiate it outward, because all of our relationships tend to act as a mirror. Sometimes they're reflecting, those good energies, and sometimes they're reflecting things we need to work on or wounds back to us. And so they're always kind of like a mirroring nature to our relationships. So it's important that first, before expecting someone to radiate love to us and fill our cup, we have to learn how to do that first. This is why self-love, healing ourselves, heart chakra work is so, so important, so that we can embody that. Because when you begin to, instead of expecting love, begin to give love, you begin to get it back in huge ways in your life too. So this is like powerful heart chakra healing kind of relationship work kind of energy, continuing to heal yourself, your heart, and your love life. Let's do Cat. Archangel Zadkiel, strengthen your boundaries. Make sure that you have good energy boundaries during this time. Sometimes this is like also about your energy, what you can handle, what you can take on, and it helps you to have healthier connections. I think this is something that we should have learned and didn't learn till now. And like just having good boundaries, and this can come in many, many different levels. And when you do, you're beginning to take better care of yourself and setting higher standards for what you're allowing in your life too, or what you're open to. And it helps you to have healthier connections. We need this with our relationship with ourselves and other people, but specifically we need healthy boundaries in our relationships too. We don't want them too much, right? And kind of keeping the love out, but we want to have good boundaries to have healthier connections. So Usually when we don't have good boundaries, we allow a lot of toxicity to happen with us or to us. And so the healthier boundaries that we have, we're probably going to be more open to healthy connection and healthy love on some level. Energy boundaries are a must. This helps to protect your energy and keep you good. Hastings Shannon. Archangel Raziel, learn, change, and grow, and stay open. I call this evolving. Stay open to learning the lessons that you need to, because they are, I was saying they kind of build on each other. So you actually need to go through all of your lessons and not just go through them. You need to integrate them, like literally. Like you need to, so, okay, I'm going to put this on this video. I shouldn't have. I saw some kind of weird article on my Facebook feed and they're like, oh my God, in Japan, they found out a way to erase all of your memories if they were traumatic. That would be such a bad idea, because even though we wish some of the experiences we had didn't happen, you needed them to happen so that you don't continue to go through the same things again and again. And so some of the karmic cycles in our life, all of them, have served a purpose, because we need to integrate not necessarily any trauma that came out of the experience, but from a higher perspective or view, we need to integrate any lessons that we've been through and bring that knowledge and wisdom moving forward, because if you didn't have these lessons, you need them so you're not going through these cycles again. And so we actually had to go through every single experience. So we want to clear any negative energies kind of lingering or left behind, or traumas, and kind of heal any karmic wounds or things that may have come out of this. But we need to keep the experience and lessons moving forward, because all of your lessons, like a staircase, stack on one another. And so if you didn't have a lesson over here, you'd probably be messing up over here. So we actually needed to go through every experience that we have had for the lessons, and it's meant to change us. We're meant to, like, okay, I always say we've learned something out of it, we got some wisdom. And once you've been on this planet a little while, you start to realize that you have so much divine knowledge and wisdom, and things that can really, really help people out of your actual real life experiences that you've been through. So we want to integrate, not hold on to the pain from them. We want to heal any of that, if there is any of that, but we want to integrate that and understand that our lessons are meant to change us. They're meant to shape us. And I always say, make us better people too. Stay open to changing. And this is Virgo season energy. Whatever it is that you may need to or still be working on within yourself, we're all working on things within ourselves, whether this is toxic habits, patterns, beliefs, things that are holding us back. And this can translate into all areas of yourself and of your life. So stay open if your spirit guides are nudging you to drop any of that stuff. And it could be things that are kind of derailing you, sabotaging you, holding you back in life. Every time you clear like a bad habit or something you're doing that isn't good, you're going to rise into the next level of your life too. So just know that. We're going to do Jasmine. Archella Constance, bring heaven to earth. And I love this because this is what we're doing as starseeds. We came here to literally create, and very Lumerian energy when I talk about this too, very 5D. And I say it's simple as like manifesting your dream life. And when we can all do that, I feel it's going to transform the entire collective, because we all had that 3D experience. And as we're slowly shifting more and more people awake and into a 5D experience, it's going to unfold on a bigger collective level too. So I think we have to kind of trust that, but it's definitely going to change the life that you're living. The more that you can integrate this and really step into those 5D energies and frequencies and work with them, channel them, harness them. And so we go through a lot of transformation within our spiritual awakening and ascension path. You're here to literally bring heaven and earth. I love it because it's very angelic. And so part of awakening is awakening that we are humans, obviously, and we're having a human experience, but we're so much more. We're divine beings, we're spiritual beings. And this is very important because we're also energetic beings. So we learn that we have to, once again, take care of our energy too, right? And so we're so much more, and kind of when we can integrate that and kind of learn that, we can begin to navigate or live our lives from a different place as well too. Just your little starseed reminder, you are a starseed. You came to bring that to the planet during this time and to really create the 5D here in your actual life. Okay, I'm going on that note. I've pinned today's healings and activations on the video. If you guys need me, great day to catch me. If you do need anything, just go ahead and book me on my website. Have a beautiful day.